deep to right center. That ball is gone into Monument Park.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the 19th episode of the Monument Park podcast. I'm Cole Weintraub.
And I'm Luke Profacci.
And hey, we're in college. As promised, we're back. We got the setup going. Luke's to my left. He's at the other side of the room. And we're just going to make things work. The New York Yankees, they've won 11 straight games. We haven't talked in a minute. The first series was against the Minnesota Twins, which we previewed in the last episode. And we had a 2-game mini series against the Braves to finish off the 4 games of the season series. And we won all 5. So let's just jump right into it. Luke, before we start, how you doing? How you settling into Syracuse? What's up?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Great stretch for the Yankees. Made it a little easier. We haven't had to worry about it too much. But we had an off day yesterday going into a big 4-game set against Oakland. So I'm ready for that, and I'm excited.
Oakland Athletics. I mean, these games against Oakland are so important. They've never been this important. It's the biggest series of the year. This is probably one of the toughest teams that we're going to have to face to the season's end, probably. The Rays are up there. And I'm hoping for a 2 out of 4. I'm hoping for a 3 out of 4. I'm hoping for a split at the least. And 3 out of 4 would be amazing. The pitching matchups line up pretty good. So we'll touch on that in a minute. But let's go back. Let's flash back the clock and go to the first game against the Minnesota Twins. It was Jameson Taillon versus, I believe, John Gant. And Luke Voit got in the lineup for this game as the designated hitter or the first baseman. Can't remember. But all I know is that Luke Voit went crazy. We jumped on Gant for 4 runs in the 3rd inning. Higashioka RBI double. Luke Voit, my guy, 2-run double. Anthony Rizzo had a sac fly. So you had both of the first basemen contributing, which is great to see. And got to the pen. Higgy hit a home run, which this guy, I don't know what it is, but inside pitches, he murders. Anything away, though, can't touch. I don't know if he's gotten a single hit on the outside part of the plate this year. I was looking at his OPS. I'm pretty sure it was zeros across the board from top, middle, and bottom thirds of the strike zone. It's crazy. It's crazy how good he is and how effective he is on the pitches on the inner half. So he had a game, and it's good to see that when Gary gets an off day, your backup catcher goes 2 for 3 with 2 runs, 3 RBIs. That's awesome. And Jameson Taillon through 5 innings was brilliant. It was the Jameson Taillon that we had seen from that stretch. He's been a little shakier lately, but I mean, for the most part, he's been great. But then he got into the 6th inning. He got the first out, and then all hell broke loose. It was a home run by Jake Cave. It was a Jorge Polanco ground rule double that bounced right on the line to score 2 runs. And right then and there, it's 6-3. After we put up all those runs in the 3rd inning to make it 6-0, or 6-0 after the 3-run 4th, or the 4-run 3rd and the 2nd-run 4th, 6-0 to 6-3, just like that. It's a ball game. So everything just got a little more, scarier. Jorge Polanco comes up off Zach Britton, RBI single, 6-4. And Stanton, this home run was completely overlooked because Stanton hitting a home run made it a 3-run game. Because Miguel Sano, who kills the Yankees, this guy is Big Papi against the Yankees. Insane. I think he's hit 10 home runs in 20 games against them, which is the most of any player. I think it's the fastest. The second fastest was 8 games, or he's done it in 8 games. I don't know what it is. All I'm saying is he kills the Yankees. Chad Green gave up a home run. So all around, I mean, this game was, from a scoring standpoint, we had a huge appearance from Wandy Peralta, an inning and 2/3. This guy has been going crazy lately. And Zach Britton hitting the IL. He probably won't come back this season. Wandy Peralta is doing work. Luke, how do you feel about Wandy?
A little happier than I was the last time we played Oakland. That was brutal. But yeah, this game, I was bummed with how great it went at the beginning that we weren't able to reset the bullpen. I thought when it was 6-0, we were heading for a night where we saw the end of the bullpen pitching and giving our main guys a rest. But it was good to get the win. I was a little disappointed at the end. It didn't really feel like we won. I was worried about the overusage of our bullpen a lot.
I remember you mentioning it to me about how you thought we were going to lose the second game because of how taxed our bullpen was. And yeah, we had to go to the bullpen. It looked like JMO said in the postgame he thought he could go 7 or 8 innings, and he's brought out after 5 1/3. And thank God for Wandy Peralta. He gives you an inning and 2/3. So you don't have to necessarily go to your high leverage guys, but then you go to Britton, then you go to Green. It's just, it shouldn't have been a game. It was just one of those games that the Yankees won by 2 runs when we should have won outright by 6. Like, we don't have those games. But second game was, we put up a lot of runs and they had no chance.
Yeah, I mean, my move, everything I wanted to happen in the first game happened in the second game, and of course it was Nestor to bring us that. He had 7 innings, 2 runs, 7 Ks. I feel like that's a lot of Ks for Nestor, and I think one of the longest outings we've seen him throw. It was huge to see him get that length because, like I said earlier, we've been using the bullpen a lot. There's been a lot of close games. I believe we lead the league in wins by 1 or 2 runs. So we've really needed our high leverage guys to step up, and it was nice to get him a break. But yeah, I mean, from the jump, Charlie Barnes, I mean, he stood no chance. Luke Voigt, 2-run knock, Andy with a bases loaded walk, which was huge. I thought he was going to put one in the gap. He had been on a hot streak, so I was a little, I don't know. I thought something really good was going to happen, but he got the RBI. And then Gardy RBI single to make it 4-0. And I believe Sanchez got thrown out at home, which is, we're kind of filling Nevin some slack lately, but I mean, I guess with 2 outs it makes sense. But Gary, like, he's not one of our premier base runners. But yeah, 4-0 off the jump, and then Judge added with a 2-run shot to right field to make it 6-0 in the second. And what I thought was going to happen in the first game, it kind of just stayed that way till it was like 7-0. Voigt added another RBI double, and it was 7-0 all the way until the 6th when Donaldson hit a home run to make it 7-2. I was like, oh boy, here we go again. Gonna let up another run or 2 and then have to go to the pen, but Nestor kept going and finished out that 7th inning, which was huge. And then we kept adding insurance. Voigt was all over the place. I believe he was 4 for 5 with 4 RBIs or something like that. He was going crazy. He made it 8-2 with a bomb, and then DJ hit his first home run in what seemed like forever in the 8th to make it 10-2 off of. It was such a hanging curveball. It was weird.
When was the last time DJ hit a home run before that?
You and Philly, I literally think it was only his 7th home run of the year, and they'd all been like just clear porch jobs. This one was no different, but they all count the same. It was 10-2, and then we got our guys like Jolie and Kerner got to get some work and rest up the pen, which was really nice to see. Overall, this was a Luke Voigt game. I mean, he had 4 hits. I got on him for his comments after that one game, but I mean, if he's going to talk like that and play well, then he can say whatever he wants. So, yeah, it's exciting.
Heard it here first. Luke Voigt can say whatever he wants as long as he plays well. That's Luke Pravacci. Yeah, it was really good to see Luke stay locked in there. DJ showing some power. DJ's shown some power recently. Hit one in the Braves series. If DJ LeMahieu gets going, this team is just different because the pitching in this team is much different than the pitching of any other team. It really is. It really has shown the resilience that no team really even has. I mean, I maybe there are some teams through the league that have gone through some injuries, but I mean, we are working with a bunch of guys. Guys went down. Luis Heel came up. Nestor Cortez came literally out of nowhere. His ERA is 2.56. He's pitching 56 in the 3rd innings, and it's 2.56. When I saw the Yankees got Nestor Cortez back before the season, I loved Nestor Cortez in the 2019 season. I loved having him next to Green and Nestor with the opener. I love that. Cortez is I don't know what you call him. I don't know if I'm going to be regretting this. I don't know. I really don't know. I think he's just so important for this team. That's why when Luke and I were talking before the podcast, he's like, Kluber's coming back. Like, sure, it's an extra arm, but it's gonna take away a spot from Nestor. No, are we just gonna?
Let's see. Cole, Tyone, Nestor, Klub. I mean, it bumps Heaney.
All right,
Monty. Yeah, so it bumps Heaney, which I'm more than okay with. Heaney ate some innings, but he's not gonna be starting any important games for us unless he absolutely has to. So there's no reason to have him in the rotation every week.
So what do you do when Domingo Herman comes back?
Straight to the bullpen. Not even give him straight to the bullpen. Long man. He didn't do too much to like earn a spot when everyone's pitching well. If someone falls off and starts faltering, then he's the first one to give a shot. But I don't know. We don't owe anything to Domingo Herman. He didn't perform well enough to have him a spot waiting for him when he gets back.
Yeah, you're right. But can we congratulate Nestor for knocking his career
He's
ERA?
a beast. He's a beast. He's so good.
Can we congratulate Nestor for getting his career ERA under 5? 4.99, baby.
I didn't know why you were shushing me. I was giving him so much props, and it was just he finally got the ERA under 5. Oh my God.
It took 135 innings, 135 and a third to knock it under 5, and that's awesome. Nestor Cortez is amazing. Imagine letting Nestor Cortez go 7 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts against your baseball club. Like, imagine. You're literally dog water.
Such a presence. I've said it before. He does so many. They're not antics. It's just different. He just gives them different looks and throws different pitches from different angles and different counts. And they're just everyone looks off balance. It's great. I'm interested to see if he keeps mixing things up because eventually he's going to start getting a little repetitive and there's going to be film on him and all that. But it doesn't really seem like the type of things he does are like repetitive. It kind of just spur of the moment. He feels like going sidearm here. He feels like throwing a fastball from over the top versus throwing a different pitch from a different angle. It's very decisive, and I think it could last him a long way.
He's very smart. He's very smart because when you don't throw very hard, you have to have a brain in your skull. And Nestor Cortez clearly has a brain on his skull. He's dropping down, going sidearm. He's making the hitters uncomfortable, and he's making them put the ball in play, and it's working. And I don't know if he's just getting away with it. I don't think so. Guys like Sonny Gray, when they would have good outings in the Bronx, they were just getting away with it. Nestor Cortez isn't just getting away with it. He's actually getting good innings. A guy that we saw as just a long man is giving us 7 innings. Like, I don't care what team he's pitching against. I really just don't. And having him go 7 innings and not making the bullpen go long at all was so huge because you have Garrett Cole on the bump. So you're basically giving your bullpen just from the jump, just looking into that second game, you're giving your bullpen a lot of rest because we're playing the Twins who have absolutely no pitching. I know Kenta Maeda is pitching. He's got, experience, but we own the Twins. Let me put it another way. We demolished the Twins, and it's crazy. It's crazy how much we kill them. And so, yeah, Garrett Cole, just another good outing. Was this his second start back? So he's pitched against the Angels and the Twins. I remember me and Luke were talking about him pitching in the doubleheader, not pitching against the Red Sox, and he had 2 starts lined up against the Twins and the Angels. So Garrett Cole, 6 innings, 5 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 6 Ks. We had a Tyler Wade opposite field against the shift RBI base hit.
Guy.
Yep, T Wade. I made a 1-0. Cole struck out Donaldson. Josh Donaldson physically can't hit the baseball against Garrett Cole. He stinks. I mean, shout out to Josh Donaldson for that home run last night against Boston. But after he was talking that loud against Garrett Cole, he has not done anything. And it's awesome. I don't like Josh Donaldson. I never have. The bringer of rain, the bringer of tears. You stink, Josh Donaldson. That was a huge strikeout. Ball was low, right at the knees. Perfect pitch.
He would stop and complain both times, both strikeouts, and they were both clearly strikes. Like, I know Angel Hernandez is behind the plate, and usually he's wrong, but both of those pitches were blatant strikes, and he's just turning around complaining after he watched them go. It was the most typical Donaldson thing I've ever seen. He's always complaining. He's always whining about something, including the sticky stuff. And it's funny how it comes for full circle, and Cole gets 2 big punches against him to really keep the game in check until our offense kind of turned it up at the end to create some separation.
We have been having some big innings recently. We get a 5-run fifth. And just right there, that wins you a game pretty much for the most part. It hasn't this year sometimes, but 5-run fifth. We don't have to talk too much about it. Wade scored on a wild pitch, the 10th man on the field, the wild pitch. Stanton and Voit both had 2 RBI doubles, 6-0 Yankees. And the bullpen, once again, we go to Litke to Abreu. We don't have to use any of our high leverage guys. It's just all just relaxation. And right now, we need that because we need our top dogs ready, especially without Zach Britton. And Andy Velasquez, man, solo home run, first career home run. I love watching this guy play. I know he doesn't have a spot on the team when Gleyber Torres comes back, but he will in the September call-up, blah, blah, blah. I know he probably won't play very much, but he is a guy that he deserves a chance somewhere. And maybe that's off the Yankees bench. He's very good defensively. His arm is but I mean, he's a smaller guy, but he's got a lot of range. And I just like how he's just having fun. Having guys in the lineup like that, when the Yankees, I believe there was a stat, the Yankees like last 30 games have like the most stolen bases in baseball, and they have the best record in baseball. But the first like 60 or so, or maybe more, we had like we were tied for last, and we stunk. So it just kind of proves that stealing bags, as baseball has evolved, stealing bases has completely gone down the drain. It doesn't happen anymore. You see guys like Mondesi, you see guys like Billy Hamilton putting up big stolen base seasons, but a team-wide stolen base fiesta, that never happens. You don't have a bunch of guys. So the Yankees have clearly played better baseball, even when Greg Allen was in the lineup and Ryan Lamar was in the lineup during those rough times, even though they were actually one of the better times, which makes that scary. But we stole bases. We played small ball. We had Florial. Gardy was playing every day. I like the balance, considering we have so many power hitters. I was talking about it at the deadline. I did not like having that many power hitters. And we have like a greater medium right now with the small ball. And I like it. So the next game gets.
Yeah, just touching on that real quick. Our Achilles heel through the first, I guess, half or even more of the year was the double play ball on the offensive side of the ball. Every rally was killed. We were rolling into double plays every time. Bases loaded, 1 out, I wouldn't even get excited because it was just a double play every time. But putting the runners in motion, trying to hit singles, small ball, executional hitting, all of that's just a part of this turnaround that we've seen, winning 11 straight and winning like 40 out of our last 53 or whatever it is. It's just small ball and not selling out for the long ball because it leads to not productive results. At the end of the day, you have to hit a ball. You have to get. We used to be able to have to get like 4 singles to score a run without a home run, and now it's 1 hit, a stolen base, move them over, a knock, a sac fly, all of it. It's been really impressive.
I believe it's either the 10 straight or 11 straight wins. They're the first team in modern history to not exceed 10 hits in any of those games. It's just the home run ball and good pitching wins you baseball games. That's how the Rays won last year. I mean, pretty much. The Rays were hitting home runs in the playoffs, and they were pitching well, and they were winning. And then, they ran to the Dodgers, which a lot of teams would have lost, even us, probably. Just good pitching and home runs, because in past years, we'd have a lot of home runs, and we'd fall in the playoffs, and then you're too heavy, you're too reliant on the home run ball, and that's just not good when you can't pitch. You look at the Twins a couple of years back. Just, the pitching wasn't really there. It may have looked like that on paper, but really, was it there? No. So those, like a team like that, they fell off quickly. I like what we're doing. and we go into Atlanta. And Luke, take it away.
Yeah, we saw in this series how important it was to have our full arsenal in the bullpen and in the pitching staff, minus Britton, obviously, because Monty gets up game one on the road, tough environment. They've also won 9 or 10 straight, and he battled 5 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, but he walked 4 and only 2 strikeouts. There was a lot of long at bats. His control, you felt like, was a little off, but him getting through those 5 innings gave us a chance to win the game, and that's what we did. Stanton hit a home run to make it 1-1. He's been red hot lately. We're kind of seeing a repeat of that little stretch he had in May where he was hitting a home run every time he stepped up to the plate. He's starting to get a lot of big hits, and hopefully it continues into Oakland. But Dansby then tied it right back with a bomb to center field. I've never seen Dansby Swanson drive a ball like that. It looks like he's making strides to getting a little bit better. He in
25 homers.
Yeah, I mean, his first couple of years, his defense was his best trait, but he's been hitting it this year. And yeah, Stanton got back to him with runners on base, and he hit a 2-run double, and boom, we're up 3-1. Pitching kept going good. We brought Loizaga in to relieve Monty, and he went 2 scoreless, which gave us some time to add some insurance runs. And Gary came up with the bases loaded and hit a ground ball right through the shift. It was pretty lucky. There were 2 fielders very close to the ball, and it just happened to be right in the middle of, I believe it was a second baseman and shortstop. I don't know. I feel like he could go the other way a little bit more, which he actually did in the second game for a big run to tie it. But yeah, no, regardless, 3-1 to 5-1, huge hit for Gary. And yeah, Wandy and Chappie came in and shut the door. It was a very low stretch game. We were pretty much winning the whole time. And I mean, that's what happens when you have your A bullpen. Good things happen, timely hitting, you'll win a lot more games than you'll lose.
Braves were on a 9-game win streak, and so were we. I mean, that doesn't really happen all that often. You don't really see 2 teams playing their best baseball of the season run into each other at the same time, because it really didn't look like the Braves were playing their best baseball of the season. We kind of handled them. And sure, you can call it a Mickey Mouse division in the NL East, but I mean, when a team's playing well and everything's clicking, everything's just going to click. And you could say, oh, maybe they're not playing anybody too competitive, but that doesn't matter. I mean, you're playing good baseball. Sure. Maybe it matters here when they run into the red hot New York Yankees. We are the Yankees. Yeah, once you said it was just an all around. I mean, earlier in the game, it was a little nail biter. I didn't really know how to feel because Montgomery, I mean, you can totally see that he's just getting the rust off from being on the COVID IL. When we saw it against Boston, his control wasn't really there. I believe he walked 3 guys, and then he made that 0-2 pitch to Vasquez. It just wasn't, or 0-2 pitch to Bogarts, and then he just left 3-2 over to Vasquez. I didn't call it. It just Montgomery, he'll get back in the groove. Hopefully he can have a start against a bad team. I mean, he's put together 2 pretty decent starts against 2, first place contending teams.
Yeah. Gave us a chance to win in both games he's pitched. It wasn't necessarily pretty when you were watching it, but at the end of the day, you look up 5 innings, 1 run. I mean, you can't ask for too much more than that with I don't even know where I was going with that. When his control's off and he gets through 5 innings, we'll take that every day of the week with only 1 run.
Especially with how rested our bullpen's been lately. I mean, it's just a perfect start. And yeah, Wandy's just been amazing. And we'll talk about Wandy in a moment. So Braves game 2. So me and Luke had finally moved into the dorm. And it was kind of weird for us because, we're trying to explore Syracuse. We're trying to go out at night and see what's going on because, now we're in college. It's the first week. You want to get acclimated. You want to see what goes on, what doesn't. And we didn't really watch a lot of this game. We were at dinner for some of it, came back, watched a little bit of it. And at the end, when it was the most stressful, what were we doing? We were doing absolutely nothing. We weren't even watching the game. We were out somewhere else. And if we had been watching it here, I don't know what we would have done. I know Luke would have just been sitting here quietly because he's just, a snail, a mushroom. I would have been here just like pacing. I would have been going back and forth, room to monitor. Luke would have just been sitting here smiling, just watching just everything go bad. So I kind of liked it. I kind of liked how low stress, but high stress, and how funny it was when the way it all like just kind of ended, because it just kind of just ended like that. We didn't watch a single pitch in the late innings. So I see Luke referred to Andrew Heaney as Heenbag, as as Andrew Heaney, you know, a,
Guy stinks.
All right. Well, all right. Andrew Heaney, he went four innings. Okay, 4 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs. It's not like a walk and 5 strikeouts. He actually strikes out quite a lot of hitters. Not really. So it's just Andrew Heaney. He had that great start against Boston, and I have respect for him from that. And that was just great. And he still gave us a shot. He had that inning where he hit Austin Riley and then got Dansby 0-2 and just threw one of his loopy he just threw one of these loopy curveballs over the middle of the plate, I believe, and Swanson just hammered it into the gap. And Freddie Freeman, scored from first base? That guy, I mean, how many times was he on the move in this game? He was throwing out. Had 2 close plays at the plate, a play at first on a double play ball that he beat out. I mean, this guy is like Speedy Gonzalez. Who knew that? So yeah, down 2-0 in the first inning. You're figuring a punt game. Andrew Heaney, is just gonna go down. But no, Giancarlo Stanton in the same sequence as the first game comes up, leads off the second inning with a solo shot. And that was really good because you didn't want it. You just go scoreless. You wanted to, bring some spark to that offense. We had a 1-out double for Judge in the 4th. And it left Gary with 2 outs and a runner on 3rd. But he hit one against the shift. And in the first game, Luke was talking about how he hit the seeing eye single past the 2 defenders. That pitch was a Jesse Chavez, who I don't even know how he's still in the league. Better yet, how he's pitching to like a mid-3 ERA. Low and away, Gary just, gets it on the edge of the bat and just muscles it. But here, he just went with it. If Gary Sanchez can go to the opposite field, I don't know what to say. He's unstoppable at that point, right? I mean, a catcher with that much power hitting the ball to the opposite field, especially at Yankee Stadium, if he can do that, I mean, I'll tip my cap to Gary every single day because that's the Gary that we want. DJ LeMahieu, Barry Bonds, I mean, 2-run shot, top of the 5th, made it 4-2. Big home run after the Gary tied it up at 2. Big home run to give us a 2-run lead. Abreu, I mean, we're not even watching this. So Abreu was left with 1st and 3rd. Joey came in, 2 on and 1 out, and gave up a 2-out hit to make it 4-3. I forget who it was. Was it Riley? I think. I want to say it was. It was an Austin Riley single. Albie scored easily. Freddie Freeman's coming around. Great relay throw by Andrew Velasquez. I thought he was safe. And he wasn't. So that was big.
we actually saw this part. This was the part we saw when we were watching the challenge and we saw Freeman's foot. He was safe. His whole foot was in. And once they went to challenge, I was just going back and forth. I was like, they can't challenge us, and they did. And I was like, oh, like, here you go, 4-4. I guess it wasn't conclusive, but I thought it was safe. We caught a big break with this one, to be honest. It evened itself out later in the game with some interesting decisions in the 9th, but for the time being, it saved the lead for us.
For sure. I mean, yeah, obviously 4-3, and Odor comes up, and I swear, bro, this guy comes up and doesn't even, once the ball hits the bat, his head's down, he drops the bat, little head rub, because why not? Don't even know what that symbolizes, because he's just Rugi and he's awesome. He rounds third base. He's just saying whatever to Phil Nevin, because why not? Because he's Rugi. Makes it 5-3, and that home run was so big because I believe we had runners on the inning before and just didn't do anything, but Rugi came up and did the job. Solo shot. And then Chad, went in and out of trouble in the 8th, kept it at 5-3, got the hold, which is big because we want Green to settle into that role, whether it's in the 7th or 8th inning here in the 8th. And then Chappie in the 9th, 2-run lead. He had a good outing against the Braves the day before. He did have a shaky outing against the Red Sox and got pulled. Remember the Lucas Litke game where Lucas Litke had to come in and save our lives, which I never thought I'd say ever. And just not good. Just not good. I mean, Aroldis, you can't do that to us. You can't. And he gets the leadoff ground ball, broken bat on Darno, but then gives up a single to Duvall. To his defense, Duvall kills left-handed pitching. Strikes out Heredia. So you got 2 outs and a runner on first with a 2-run lead. Sure, the tying run's coming into play, but it's Adrianza, who has no pop, walks him, gets a single to Ozzy Albies. Okay, infield single. Ozzy Albies looked like Usain Bolt. I don't know. He looked like Tyreek Hill down the line. I don't know what it was. It wasn't like he hit it soft, and Odor didn't take too much time. He literally just ran as fast as he could. It was insane.
It was a one-hopper. It was literally a one-hopper to third base. I'll never understand how he beat that out. That was nuts.
That can't happen. It seriously cannot happen. It just can't. So that kind of stunk. But
thing Gio's back today. We're not going to be seeing that anymore. Glad to have him back. We really need that. I don't even know. Just stability at third base. Every time a ball goes over to third when Rugi's there, it's like, is he going to make it? Is he going to let it eat him up? Is he going to mess up the throw? Not when Gio's over there. We'll be sleeping a lot better with ground balls to third base when Gio's on the field every day.
I mean, for sure. Gio Urshela is one of the best defensive third basemen in the league. I don't care about advanced statistics. I watch this guy play every day, just like some people watch Derek Jeter play every day. His defense seemed fine to them. I'm done on that. But, that right there was crazy. So now you got the bases juiced. And I know Luke kind of liked this in retrospect, walking Jorge Soler with the bases loaded. But in the moment, I mean, Aroldis, really? He walks Jorge Soler, who'd been swinging out of his shoes all night, swinging at pitches at his eyes and in the dirt. So 5-4, and in comes the Wanderer. The magic wand comes in, strolling from the bullpen. And me and Luke are in a dorm room, just looking across the room from each other. Wandy's coming in. And, I didn't know what to think. I really did not know what to think. Did you? I mean, really?
I was just relieved we didn't give Soler a fastball, and I was very relieved that it wasn't going to be Chapman facing Freeman. I had a good sense of not confidence with Wandy, but I knew he wasn't just going to walk him. I knew he was going to throw the changeup low and away, and I knew Freeman was going to probably battle, and a ball was going to be put in play, and it was whether or not we got lucky or not. And he hit it pretty good, but Gallo tracked it down for a huge win and I guess you call it a sweep, even though it was 2 games. Winning 2 versus splitting 1-1 is just so much better. I was so relieved when that happened.
I mean, you knew Freddie Freeman was going to put together an at-bat that you were going to remember. It's Freddie Freeman. That's kind of why I want him on the New York Yankees. He's a guy that just wins a game single-handedly. He didn't here, though, which is awesome. Wandy Peralta just has what's of steel. I mean, guy threw 5 changeups in a row to get Freddie Freeman out. Do you know how hard that is to locate the pitch over and over and over? You know how much is going through someone's head in a moment like that? Some people are able to block it all out. It seemed like Wandy did there. A pitcher coming in with the bases loaded, and I could speak from experience, coming with the bases loaded, so much is coming through your head. You didn't put the guys on, so you kind of feel like it's not even your fault, but you have to put the team first, and you have to get one out. I mean, I don't know if I've ever put in that situation because that's pretty unique. But just the whole situation just kind of showed who Wandy Peralta is and how just confident he is with his repertoire. And we need that because with Chad Green out for the season, Zach Britton out for the season, not Chad Green, good thing. We need a lefty who can come into high leverage situations and get big outs. And hopefully Wandy's that guy. The ball almost went over the wall, and I would have not really, it is to the edge of the track, but I would have probably just walked right and walked with my head down all the way down those stairs. I probably would have tried to tumble over those stairs, would have gone a long way. So, I mean, just Wandy Peralta, man, it's just awesome. I don't remember the last time he's, I don't know. Wandy Peralta. That's it. I wish I could name the episode Wandy Peralta, but I'm just not going to.
You absolutely can name the episode Wandy Peralta.
I'm not naming the episode Wandy Peralta.
This podcast was so much more upbeat single-handedly because of Wandy Peralta that you might as well.
I'm sorry. I had myself on mute. Wandy Peralta acted like he had just won the Kentucky Derby, bro. He's just smacking himself when he's getting in the game. He's like on the ground, like smacking the ground. I love the energy. We need that. I love it. Thank you, Wandy Peralta. You were awesome. Thank you. Okay. So we're going to Oakland. This episode will be posted tomorrow. I'm sorry. I want to talk about the winning streak, but there is a chance that we lose tonight. So it's kind of just tough to portray that. But 9:40, Oakland, 9:40 here at least. Tyon versus Caprillion. Tomorrow is also 9:40. Cole versus Mania. I like how we match up tonight. Two guys. Caprillion's 3.25 ERA, just having a fantastic season. He might be in for maybe a rookie of the year votes, couple, which is sickening because we, gave up Sonny Gray for him.
Disgusting.
So Garrett Cole versus Sean Mania, another matchup I like. I feel like we have the advantage there. And then you have two games against Frankie Montas and Paul Blackburn. But we've got Nestor Cortez going at 4:00, and then a 7:00 game, which is beautiful for us. Montgomery versus Blackburn. I like how we match up. And I'm confident that we can go in and at least get a split. I really am. I think if the bats can just keep going and Urshela can come back and contribute to a level that maybe a bit higher of a door, I think we can do it. I think we can pull off a sweep, maybe 3 out of 4. Luke, what are your predictions?
I was going to say you led off that statement talking about a split. On paper, we have a favorable matchup all 4 times. It's way unrealistic to think that we're going to go to the Coliseum.
Let's not talk about baseball on paper.
I know. I'm just saying, it's very unrealistic to think that we're going to go into the Coliseum and win 4 in a row. But you look at the matchups and it's like, why can't we? I think 3 out of 4 is very reasonable, but 2 out of 4 is probable, especially you can't stay this hot forever. We've had so many timely hits over this 11-game winning streak that eventually one of the days you're just not going to get the big hit. I'm still very I just think we have a good shot this series, and I think the rest of the season we kind of have our fate in our hands, and I think we can go a long way.
I mean, I'm not sure what else to say. Let's just at least get the split. Let's just hope that after that, the A's can find their way above Boston, because me and Luke do not want to see Boston in a wild card game. The Rays just don't lose. They just don't lose. They're using Nelson Cruz at first base. He's making back picks. It's all crazy. We go to play Anaheim for 3 games, then we get to play Boston for 3 games, Baltimore for 3 games. So, I mean, if there's ever a time, I know the Rays are playing Baltimore, and Baltimore is hot. I'm telling you, I'm just mark my words. They're going to put up a fight against the Rays. But I don't know.
2-19 in their last 21.
Ever since the Cat, they were 0-19. They won the last 2 games. Perfect time to beat the Rays. Luke, you got anything else to offer? I mean,
there isn't really much to say. It's great when we're winning a lot, but there isn't too much to complain about, which is why this one will probably be a little bit shorter than there usually are. We're excited for tonight, though. It's going to be a really good game, and like I said, I just think we have the fate in our hands, which I really didn't think we would have an opportunity to just control our own destiny. But this last month or so, we really picked it up and put ourselves in a great position to maximize our potential this year.
As Mariano Duncan once said, we play today, we win today. That's it. I love it. I love it. Let's just keep winning. Thank you all for listening and watching. Monument Bark. We'll see you next. I don't know. I don't know what I'm really saying. We'll just see you whenever.
Thank you. Peace.